Welcome to Simply Happy Conversations, a podcast that teaches you how to create a clutter-free, functional and simply happy life. I'm Narelle King, a professional organiser who supports families with practical steps to simplify their lives and create a more organised home. I'm passionate about supporting neurodivergent families and individuals like myself. How often do you wash your bra or jeans after every wear, when they look dirty, or you really just can't remember? Today on the podcast, I'm sharing ways to take care of your clothes to extend the life of your wardrobe, from washing tips to storage ideas and simple hacks to repair and extend your clothes life, saving you money and reducing the impact on the environment. Let's jump into this Simply Happy conversation. Thanks for joining me for today's solo episode about taking care of clothes, including washing, repairs, and storage that will make them last longer, help protect the planet and save you money, and also create a more sustainable wardrobe. Broken it down into 3 parts. It's our washing our clothes, it's our storage of our clothes, and it's also looking at repairs, how we can repair our clothes. So we'll start with washing our clothes. I've got a few tips written down about washing, how we can make things last longer. So number 1 is wash less often. So unless our clothes are visibly dirty, washing them everywhere can make them wear out faster. And when we are washing our clothes, looking at separating them into darks and lights is also going to extend the life, because when we put our darks and whites together, we will find our whites will go maybe a grey colour. Turning our clothes inside out is going to prevent it from fading and also protect the delicate fabrics when we're washing and then also drying. Using a cold wash is going to reduce fading and also help retain the clothes' shape. Using an eco-friendly, gentle detergent and choosing a detergent that's gentle on the fabric will also help avoid unnecessary wear and tear. I love the product Zero Co here in Australia because it also, as well as being gentle, it has its packaging can be recycled. So you send it back to them and they refill it as well. And the final tip is avoiding overloading your washer and dryer. When we overload it, we can then damage the fabrics and also the seams. So by just putting less in, we're taking more care of our clothes. So that was number 1. Number 2 is looking at our lingerie bags. And these aren't just for lingerie. These are for any delicates. It could be bras and underwear, socks, stockings. Or another alternative you could use is a pillowcase. So if you don't have one of those delicate lingerie bags or a mesh bag, you could use a pillowcase instead. It just stops the hooks and the zip and clasps from getting caught on other clothes by being in the bag. It protects the delicate materials and designs from being ruined and prevents like stockings or tights being stretched and tied up in knots around all your other clothes, which I'm sure everyone has experienced sometime or another. And just really thinking about your bras, they generally get a lot sweatier and smellier and need washing more frequently than our jeans would. So number 3 tip around washing our clothes is cleaning out all of the pockets. There's nothing worse than having a tissue or some bit of paper that goes through the whole washing machine and makes all the clothes have little bits of lint all over them. It's a great idea to also button and zip up all the clothing. So zipping up your jeans zips, because that is going to stop other items getting caught and damaged. It also prevents buttons from becoming loose and then falling off as well. Number 4, we're going to look at fabrics that are more natural and biodegradable fibers, like a cotton, linen, or hemp. If you go back to episode 130, you can hear me talking about sustainable fabrics and materials that ideally we'd like in our home. So that might be a great episode to go back and have a listen to. By choosing these natural fibers, it's going to have a lower environmental impact than the synthetic fibers. Another way to avoid the washing the synthetic clothes and those microfibers going into our environment is looking at getting a Guppy Friend bag. And this is a special bag that's going to stop the microfibers going into our water system. And I will include a link to this in the show notes for you. Number 5 is reading the care labels. And I know for myself, sometimes I've cut them off and I can't read them. But following that manufacturer's instructions for washing, drying and ironing is going to prevent damage. So for example, like jeans, it's ideal to put them on a low spin, and a permanent wash press cycle is going to be the best one for them. Hanging them out straight away, not using the dryer for our jeans is going to extend the life of them. And even adding vinegar is going to help hold the colour in your jeans. The more lycra that you have in your jeans, they're going to need washing more often, whereas cotton doesn't need to be washed to bring it back into shape. It's going to keep its shape. So the higher percentage of cotton you have in your jeans, the less likely you need to wash them as often. I'm a huge fan with my knits is hand washing them. If you prefer not to do hand washing, maybe you have a hand washing cycle on your actual washing machine that you could be putting delicate items into, or looking at that delicate bag as well. Number 6 is not to hang clothes out on a super hot day. Now, this is really important in Australia, where our sun is so harsh and it can fade colours straight away when you've put them out on a really, really hot day. I have seen this with dark colours on pillowcases that I put out on a really hot day. I've also seen it with a jumper as well, and the sun was able to fade it that small amount of time that it was out. Your delicate items you could look at putting on a clothes horse and then placing it under the shade. So it's actually maybe even laying flat on a drying rack so it's not going to be stretched. And my final tip is number 7, the dryer is not your friend. If the sun's out, then hang your clothes outside on the line. Think of hanging your clothes out on the line as sending them to a relaxing day spa. It's good for the environment. It also means your clothes won't shrink. The fabric is going to last longer. I like to use a dryer for my towels because I like that fluffy feeling of my towel. And I like to use it when I need to get the lint off clothes because possibly a tissue has gone through the wash. And if you're needing to dry clean items, looking at the material, silk, crepe, tailored jackets, tailored pants, they're going to need to go to the dry cleaners, and it may have it even on the label saying dry clean only. Definitely follow that instruction. But again, try to limit that and see where you can just spot clean it to avoid using the dry cleaners too often to extend the life of your clothes. Another way to extend the life of our clothing is by repairing it. We're going to repair any clothes that have a button missing, the seams or the hems before they become bigger problems. We're going to do that as soon as possible. And if we're not very good with our sewing skills, we could take it to a place that does alterations or find someone in our local community who could maybe help us out. Our number 2 is we're going to remove stains. And I've got 2 products that I really like to use. One is called the Sneaker Laundry, and they have a stain remover pen for clothes. And another one, which is great for oil, is K2R. And this is a stain remover spray. And you spray it on and it like leaves a white residue, and you can leave it for 24 hours. And then you just get a clothes brush and brush the white away and then just put it in your wash as normal. This is going to work really well if you do this before washing the actual stain. So as soon as it's happened, and then we get on to removing the stain. Number 3 is looking at cleaning our shoes. So for your sneakers or runners, you may take the shoelaces out and put them in a bucket and let them soak. And then using a cleaning product, I, again, love the Sneaker Laundry cleaning product. They have an actual water-free one, and you put the bubbles all over the shoes and you scrub it with their brush, and then you clean the area with a damp cloth. And then they also have a protector, and placing the protector on the shoe after to help reduce the scuff marks and getting dirty as well. The Sneaker Laundry I've also used on non-canvas shoes or leather shoes, but actually on your runners. Gets them really clean also. So number 4 for helping to repair your clothes is thinking about whether you could do them in a white soak or even a dark soak and put all those same items in a bucket and just restore the color. I love to do this at the end of summer with all my whites and putting those together with a white soak, and it just brightens the white back up. I've also done it with darks, so like your blacks, and put all of those together, place the black wash in, rinse them all out in the washing machine, and then hang them out. It just restores the black, which can fade over time. Number 5 is looking at the pilling of your knits and using a cordless rechargeable lint remover. This is something that I only recently purchased, and I think this is actually fantastic for removing the little pills on your jumpers. And some of my jumpers, after I've done this, it's like they look brand new and it's like they can do another winter season. Choose one that's rechargeable, because then otherwise they go through batteries really quickly. And our final one, number 6 in our repairs, is looking for a place where you can get your shoes, maybe your bags repaired. I have found this great place close to where I live, and I've taken several pairs of shoes because the zip's broken or the soles need replacing, and they've been able to do it, and it's really affordable. I've also taken my bag in a handbag, which was a beautiful leather bag, and the outside is in great condition. The inside lining, though, had pulled apart from the sides, and they were able to repair that for me. And now I still have this beautiful bag that I can use. Looking in your local area, if you have someone who can do repairs on shoes or bags for you, or leather goods, maybe if it's even a belt. Final area to help us extend the life of our wardrobe is looking at how we store our clothes. First one is hanging or folding our clothes, and doing this neatly to avoid wrinkles and misshaping our items is going to help extend the life of them. You could consider using like the padded or the wooden hangers for your delicate items, just to prevent them being stretched. When we use the slim non-slip hangers for our tops or dresses, it's going to save you space as well as help to maintain the shape. I find that the plastic and definitely the wire hangers tend to stretch your clothes out, and we want to help preserve our clothes with these really simple storage ideas. I prefer to roll or fold my knits instead of hanging them. This is going to help prevent them being stretched, and it means they can be then stored in a drawer or a shelf, and they're easy to see as well. So number 2 is thinking about rotating our wardrobe. When we wear the same things over and over, we're going to be then leading to like faster wear and tear on those items. Whereas if we can rotate your clothes to distribute that usage and store, say, the off-season clothes in a separate area to free up space and keep your current wardrobe organized, you're going to be able to see your items and they're not going to be squashed. That's when I would find that some people aren't using their whole wardrobe because they can't actually see the items. So maybe by taking half of it out, the season that you're not using at the moment, can allow you to see the items really easily. Therefore, you're able to rotate your wardrobe. If you are going to store off-season clothes, try to avoid plastic bags and store them in a breathable fabric garment bag, or even a cotton bag, or even really old pillowcase or doona covers or quilt covers are great to protect them from the dust and the light. And they need to be stored in a cool, dry place. Otherwise, when we're storing it in a damp, humid area, it's going to get moldy, mildew might grow, and then we need to get rid of the items. When the items have mold in them, there's no actual way of removing the mold. This is going to affect other items. It's going to spread. Mold is a living organism, and it's going to spread from one item to another. So when we can leave space between our clothes, it means there's more circulation can get through, which means that not only are you going to avoid wrinkles on your clothes, you're going to allow for circulation to happen. That's less chance of mold forming on any of your beautiful clothes. Number 3 is thinking about our shoes and how we're going to store them. It could be keeping them in their original boxes so they can stack really easily, or using a shoe rack, and that's at the bottom of your wardrobe. And that way it's not near your clothes. You're not going to get shoe polish or dirt on your clothes. Using a diffuser or a satchels in your wardrobe that can deter moths and smell beautiful. There's these lavender ones that I've had before. It's going to not only your clothes smelling fresh, but it's also going to avoid those moths coming in and eating all of your natural fibers. So making sure that you check your clothes regularly for any signs of damage or pests that may have come in, like our moths, and making sure that you clean your items before storing them so that you can prevent the stain from setting as well. So number 4 is buy less and choose well. Think about investing in a high quality fabric that might then last a lot longer and is also more natural and biodegradable, which is going to be more sustainable on our environment. And you're going to then get a lot longer use out of that item than you do with your synthetic made fibers. By following these tips and thinking about the life cycle of your clothes you buy, from the production to the disposal to choosing options that minimize the environmental impact, you can create a more sustainable wardrobe that helps reduce the fashion industry's environmental impact and also saves you money. I'd love for you to join the Simply Happy organization Facebook group and share your tips to create a more sustainable wardrobe. You may even have items to sell or donate that you can share in the group. Thanks for listening to Simply Happy Conversations. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Simply Happy conversation. If you find yourself wasting precious time searching for misplaced items and wishing for a more organized life, then you need my 5-minute declutter ebook, the ultimate guide to quick and easy organizing solutions for a clutter-free and happy home. Forget about spending months KonMariing your house. These fun solutions are designed to give you immediate results in under 5 minutes. Head over to Simply Happy in the resource section and download your free copy and start seeing results in minutes. I'd like to acknowledge the Wathaurong people of the Kulin Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging.